What's going on, guys? Black Scout Survival, Late Night Live. And if you saw the picture I put up as the thumbnail, I'll put it up here. You see these two guys right here, right? And if you noticed, like, think back to Kyle Rittenhouse whenever the stuff went down in Kenosha, that it was not about, somewhat, a little bit, about AR-15s, but they weren't trying to call for all these crazy, AR-15 bans and all this kind of stuff. They were calling it. They were saying what he did was because of white supremacy. It was a person problem. It was not a gun problem. It was a person problem. So they weren't pushing this agenda, right? Everything was about Kyle Rittenhouse. He was a 17-year-old kid. He should not have been there. He didn't live there. Meanwhile, people are torching businesses, but don't mind that. But this kid who went there to protect businesses that shot three white guys turned out to be a white supremacist, per the CNN and other liberal media. And now, fast forward to the Uvalde shooter, Salvador Ramos. You don't hear about him at all. You don't hear about any motive. You don't hear about how he afforded, $6,000 in Daniel Defense rifles. You don't hear about anything. Nothing. Nothing. Is it because he's a Hispanic kid? I bet if it had been a white kid going into a Hispanic school, it would have been white supremacy. But nothing but the gun. The gun is the problem. So Kyle Rittenhouse was the problem because he was a white guy. Salvador Ramos, it's the gun's fault, not Salvador's fault. You don't hear anything about him. There's literally nothing. I've been searching since this happened to see. I just want to know how he afforded the rifles. I mean, what is it about this kid? What is the backstory? And there's nothing, right? And they're obviously pushing as of the bill we're going to talk about in a minute. But in August 1st, 1966, after stabbing his mother and his wife to death the previous night, Charles Whitman, a former Marine veteran, took rifles and other weapons to the observation deck at the main building at the University of Texas at Austin. He opened fire indiscriminately on people in the surrounding campus and streets. Over 96 minutes, he shot and killed 14 people, including an unborn child, and injured 31 other people. The incident ended with two policemen and a civilian that reached Whitman and shot him dead. At the time, this was the deadliest mass shooting attack, a lone gunman attack that happened in U.S. history. What did he use? He didn't have AR-15. He had a bolt-action Remington 700 rifle, right? So if just we look back in history, that people will do things, bad people will do bad things, and they don't need AR-15 to do it, right? This is Charles Whitman. He's a Marine, piece of human garbage, and I'm a Marine. Now, if this had been Officer Tatum and this had been a cop, he'd been defending him for sure. He'd been defending this guy. Still blocked by him, by the way. Anyway, let's talk about this guy right here. This is America's most prolific serial killer, a man named Samuel Miller. In 2018, he confessed to murdering 93 women nationwide from the 70s to 2005. He lived a life of crime, dropped out of high school, left Ohio in 1950s. He basically lived a nomadic life, getting by through stealing, selling loot, and using the money for drugs and alcohol. He had frequent run-in with the police, but was often let go after a short stint in jail. He chose murder victims because they were marginalized and vulnerable, mostly prostitutes and women addicted to drugs. His method of killing, strangulation. So he never owned an AR-15. Didn't use any sort of gun for that matter, right? And so on Wednesday, the House voted 223 to 204 to pass a wide range of gun laws, right? Now it still has to go to the Senate, but we're talking about this is the Protecting Our Kids Act. 5 Republicans voted for the bill. Representative Anthony Gonzalez of Ohio, Fred Upton of Michigan, Brian Fitzpatrick from Pennsylvania, and Adam Kissinger of Illinois, and Chris Jacobs of New York Two Democrats actually voted against it. Jared Golden of Maine and Kurt Strader of Oregon. This would raise the legal age to buy certain semi-automatic centerfire rifles from 18 to 21 years old and establish new federal offenses for gun trafficking and for selling large capacity magazines, and allow local governments to compensate individuals who surrender such magazines through a buyback program. So talking about a magazine ban, right? Large capacity magazine ban. It would create a tax incentive for retail sales of safe storage devices, so gun safes, and criminal penalties for breaking new requirements regulating firearm storage on a residential premise. So they're going to tell you how you can operate in your own home, right? And America's free, right? This would also, strengthen the steps of federal regulations on bump stocks and ghost guns. I think a lot of people ask me, that I debate with about, what would I do? What if it's not banning guns or making guns illegal or removing AR-15s from the streets? What would I propose? How to stop this? And I've been thinking about it long and hard, and today I actually came up with it. How to stop the gun violence. And I think we should just make killing illegal. Just go ahead and outlaw killing. It's against the law. You're going to go to jail if you kill people. Seriously, if we did this, we wouldn't have to do all this other laws, right? Oh yeah, it already is a law. That's my point. Law-abiding citizens will follow the law. They're the only people that will obey the law. And the new rules will be some law-abiding citizens that may follow this rule if it gets passed. What I've learned is, and go ask Ronald Reagan how the war on, go dig him up and ask him how the war on drugs went, right? We made that illegal, and the fighting and people getting killed and all that, but what I see is that Americans have zero root cause analysis. Like literally, they're just so emotional. They, want to pass laws without trying to figure out what the problem is. There's no way we can be the most powerful country in the world with these people that are in charge. It's impossible for me to believe that. These people are complete idiots. But I also think that if we are going to raise the age, then we should raise the age of military service to 21. If an 18-year-old is not competent enough to own a rifle, then he damn sure ain't competent enough to go sign the dotted line and go die for bureaucrats or oil money, right? What about voting? We don't need incompetent 18-year-olds voting in the next president of the United States. It could be somebody worse than Biden. It could be Hillary Clinton, right? We don't need them voting. So did you guys see Joy Behar? Her rant on gun control, that if it would pass, saying that Black Americans, if gun control would pass if Black Americans were buying guns. I'll play that clip for you real quick.
And just do so for the same reason that we all sit up.
An AR-15?
No, let me tell you. Okay, let me give you a story. There's a man in Connecticut that watched his neighbor have a home invasion and watched their whole family get killed. He built his own AR-15 because Connecticut won't let you buy them, but you can abide by rules that allow you to build them. And then he has one in his house to protect his family because he never wants to see that happen again. He is a Black man. It's odd. Most AR-15 owners are former military, 35 plus and married. So that's all I'm saying is that they're not these crazy people.
Okay. Here's the thing. Once Black people get guns in this country, the gun laws will change. Trust me.
That's what happened with the Black Panther. Black people have that.
Trust me on
That's what
that.
happened with the Black
Panther. He don't want it, man. Tell your shorty get in the car, go. We finna slide. Yeah.
How dumb can she be? There's tons. I mean, look alone. There's tons of gun owners of all colors, right? And it's ridiculous for her, and that just shows how far removed she is from reality, right? And legal gun owners at that. I mean, legal gun owners of all races, creeds, ages. just completely, off the rails. Then, the thing is, Democrats don't care about violence when it's in their favor. Just like the Summer of Love, you saw business being torches, cops being, beat up in the streets, getting hit by bricks, flipping cop cars over, burning them, taking over a police station, giving them guns, and these sort of things. They don't care as long, and they actually promote it. Hell, Jimmy Kimmel promoted it last night. Democrats actually blocked a bill to provide additional security for Supreme Court justices. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy made a unanimous consent request to the House floor to bring up S 4160, which passed the Senate by a unanimous vote. This would have allocated additional security for the justices' family members. And this was on the same day that they denied this. The same day, a man was arrested attempting to murder Justice Brett Kavanaugh. And they've been promoting this since the abortion, overturning Roe v. Wade. In the early morning hours on Wednesday, law enforcement arrested a man near Kavanaugh's Maryland home. Authorities later charged this man from California, Libby, California, with attempted murder. A failed assassin uses Kavanaugh's home address. Democrat activists posted online. They posted it online from a pro-abortion group named Ruth Sent Us, and they actually posted up Amy Coney Barrett's address and the address of her kid's school and what days that she's going to be there. So here it is. Here, this is from Ruth Sent Us on Twitter. Twitter's allowing this. If you're in DC metro area, join us. Our protest at Barrett's home moved the needle to this coverage. Falls Church is the People of Praise stronghold. She sends her 7 kids to People of Praise school that she sat on the board of the directors for. She attends church daily. Like, these people, the Democrats don't care. Jen Psaki said, well, people are upset. That's what she said today after the Kavanaugh thing when she was asked about it. People are upset. So assassins are coming from California, and that's okay because people are upset. It's only when it's in their favor. That's why I really question the Salvador Ramos kid. What is the skeletons in the closet they don't want to reveal? They're not saying anything, right? They painted Kyle Rittenhouse a complete picture of this kid on various media outlets. But these sick people literally posted her address and where her kids are. Yeah, somebody brought Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, complete loser. So far removed. I'm tired. Like, for them to even allow Matthew McConaughey at the White House to speak is beyond. All right. Like, you're letting this dude go up here and we're supposed to take you seriously. This is how dumb this administration is, right? Anyhow, let's talk about some world news. Obviously, yeah, it's okay to send all kinds of weapons to civilians in Ukraine, but you can't have them here to protect your family, and we got assassins going to go, try to kill Supreme Court justices, for crying out loud. But Russia, Syria. Okay, so Russia's in Ukraine. The actual air forces of Russia and Syria conducted a joint drill Tuesday. The Syrian Defense Ministry said that during Tuesday's drill, the Russian and Syrian warplanes carried out joint patrols along the Golan Heights and other parts of southern Syria. We're going to talk about why Golan Heights is important here in a minute. 2 Russian Su-35 fighter jets and 6 Syrian MiG-23s and MiG-29s aircraft simulated facing hostile warplanes and drones. Bear Wilkie, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Yeah, Syrian pilots dealt with them and covered the support from Russian warplanes. The announcement came hours after Syrian state television reported. So these drills happened after this report that Israeli missiles targeted Syrian army positions south of the capital, Damascus, causing material damage but no casualties. State TV quoted the unnamed military official as saying that the Israeli warplanes fired several missiles while flying over Syria's Israeli-occupied Golan Heights before midnight Monday. Now, that's what the media is saying. Syria's Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. Golan Heights was taken by Israel in the Six-Day War in 1967. It's occupied by Israel, but they took it over and they're using it as a buffer zone because of the hostilities there, Iran and stuff like that. And Trump actually made the presidential declaration during his presidency, stating that Golan Heights was Israeli territory during his presidency. He got a lot of backlash for it. So you have Syria alleging an attack, then they conduct these drills with Russia. As the world is heating up, I would say keep an eye on this, because this could be, they could be getting emboldened by Russia as well as China and North Korea. So World War III, we're talking, you have Russia and Ukraine, right? And so Russia now provokes Syria, saying we will back you guys up to take Israel. China hits Taiwan. China and North Korea, if you watched my video the other day, North Korea and China has become allies. North Korea was talking, sending stuff towards Japan. Japan is our main, defense, the fleet, defense fleet, Japan and American military to defend Taiwan. So to me, it's like almost like a light switch where we could be in World War III. And everybody's getting emboldened by a weak president. Old Muppet Biden that, lost 20-year war in Afghanistan for us and outfitted the Taliban with the most state-of-the-art equipment. And now we have everyone knowing that America is a joke, right? America's a joke right now. So the other thing is I told you a while back they were coming for your children. Check this out. A Norwegian professor who currently serves on the board of trans activists, we're in Pride Month, so we're going to discuss this. Trans activist lobby group has called for pedophilia to be taught in high schools as being an innate sexuality. So they're trying to coin this term of innate sexuality so we do not call it pedophilia. The mental state of finding innate sexuality, by his definition, is the mental state of finding children sexually attractive, and is saying it's very common. Yeah, it is very common. It is very common with Democrats, liberals. I mean, it is common, right? And then also to do a little more celebrating of pride, we'll talk about this real quick. This article here. Check this out. Encourage women to smell their poop to be more inclusive to trans women. What do you guys think about that? Some women have a hole where their penis used to be, and that hole often shares microbiome with the colon, creating a distinct transitioning odor. This is not a joke, guys. This is serious. It seems many folks are misinterpreting this piece, which is about cis women. So this is a comment made after the fact, because he was getting a lot of backlash, or the article, the person who wrote the article, I don't know what they claim to be, but anyway, they wrote this because they were getting backlash. They made an annotation to the article. It seems many folks are misinterpreting this piece, which is about cis women sitting aside a little bit of time each day to fully engage their senses and reflect on other less privileged experience. It's never not right to inject a little bit more thoughtfulness and empathy into our daily lives. Stay sunny and edit. There are already 200 comments, so please only add them if you have something valuable or interesting to say. Our resources are limited during the weekends. So I guess they got a ton of backlash, as they should. Ladies in the comments that are watching, let me know, are you down to do that routine every day? And, these people are sick. Like, so when you look at the spectrum, what side of the fence? Are you on this side of the fence? Or are you on the normal side of the fence, right? Because if you're voting in like Joe Biden, you're a Democrat, you're on this side of the fence. Like, these are the people, you have more in common with these type of people than me, right? Normal guy. But you have more in common with these people, right? So I had a comment a little bit ago I want to post up. So this guy said, Elliot Dean, you're famous tonight, Elliot. This is from my video, the truck talk yesterday. It says, you speak discipline, yet you are ranting and raving while being a distracted driver. First off, I've addressed this in videos. I'm wearing shades. So because I'm looking at the camera, I'm still looking forward. So imagine the camera's right here. And I'm looking, you see my eyes here at the camera, but my face is here, and I got sunglasses on. You can't see my eyes. I'm looking at the road, but because of the way you film YouTube videos. I'm making it seem that way, Elliot. I've already addressed that, but I've had a few people comment that I'm reckless, blah, blah. They just want to try to, say something to me. But there you go again. So he says, let it go for a hot minute, dude. Not everything in the end of the world. Take your family on vacation or be around others with a different point of view. It's not that serious. I don't want the point of view of you pedophiles. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't care about what a communist has to say. I don't want to hear your point of view. I don't want to watch your commie news, your pedophilia news. I don't want to hear it. I'm not asking you. I don't want your point of view. I will never, ever understand why you believe what you believe. Sorry. And that's for that, Elliot. And anybody else who's a commie. I'm sorry. We're not gonna see eye to eye, buddy. We're not gonna see innate attraction to children, innate sexuality. We're not gonna see that. We're not gonna be cool with that. I'll tell you, these folks are incredible. America's literally crumbling before our eyes, and they still defend this stuff. Trump's still bad man Trump. Meanwhile, we're about to be paying $6 a gallon of gas. Can't get food anywhere. And if you can, it's astronomical. I was listening to their percentages today of the increase. I mean, it's like we're talking about for protein, meat, eggs. Eggs was 20%. Beef is 35%. Chicken is 30%. So these increases. I mean, we're talking almost. I mean, we're gonna be by the end of summer. I mean, we're gonna be paying $7, $8 a gallon of gas. We're gonna be paying triple for what food cost 2 years ago, and we may be in World War III. And we just gave billions of dollars of weapons to the Taliban. They flew planes in the towers with box cutters. What do you think they're going to do now? Right? What do you think they're going to do now? So I don't know how you can look yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, man, voting in Joe Biden was the good idea. Like, literally nothing. And he's the most divisive president. People say that Trump was the most divisive president. Joe Biden is the most divisive president that's ever been in the office, right? And that's where we are. Elamite, thank you, buddy. Yeah, man. But the thing is I got let me drop the photo real quick. So there's this page I always talk about, All Sides Now. Like us, minority these days, right? No, the minority. There's this account called All Sides Now, and they're like nonpartisan, and what they'll do is they'll dissect news, like news articles for the week, like who's covering the most, Democrat, liberal, blah 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 blah. And so they dropped a pie chart today. Pie charts are good for me because I'm not that smart. So anyway, this is analysis. Yahoo News curation favors media outlets on the left. So Yahoo News. So if you go on Yahoo, and this is going to go for Gmail or any of this other kind of stuff too. If you look at what they're promoting, so when you pull up these sites looking for news, 44% leading left, right? Then you have not rated, which is probably left too. So that's 32%. So we're looking at 76% of what you're going to see is left leaning. Oh, then another 11 cents. So basically what you're getting is that the majority of what you're being fed online is liberal left-leaning news. Now you see what leans right, literally 1%, and mixed is 2%. So that's what you're being fed. So you have to be careful. Like when you pull up stuff about what you're seeing, I see people still walk around wearing masks. Yeah, I mean they're literally like they hadn't figured out this thing was a hoax yet, and it's mind-boggling. But it's because of what you're seeing. If you're going to be fed the propaganda, you're going to believe it. If it's in your face all day. Gunner says, don't trust mainstream media. Absolutely not. Someone says, Candace is saying Brandon is the laughing stock of the world. Yeah, you're right. I mean, and he's making America look like the laughing stock of the world at that as well. Yeah, just browsing. Elliot likes masks. He does. He's on his 8th vaccine. He's taking the new ones too. Him and Leonard are good friends. So anyway, Just be careful, and do me a favor, leave in the comments. What do you think about this? About what I said about this? The kid on the right, the the color of his skin was the problem, right? Him being a white supremacist. That's what they said. The kid on the left, the gun was the problem, and you actually hear nothing about him. You know, you knew everything about Kyle Rittenhouse. You knew everything about Kyle Rittenhouse, didn't you? You probably knew Kyle Rittenhouse better than his closest friends from the media pumping out everything about him. You know nothing about Salvador Ramos. Tell me in the comments, what do you think the reason why is? Has to be a reason. The media doesn't do anything just because. Everything's got an agenda. So let me know in the comments. Sorry, my computer does wacky things sometimes. I'm trying to get my comments disappeared. All right, guys. So yeah, he was left leaning. Could be. It could be. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? When the video posts, go leave your comment there. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up for everybody so I can see those thumbs up jump real quick. I do want to share something with you cool that's going to be coming out probably next week. A lot of you guys probably been waiting for this for a while. We had a knife called the BSS5, and there's one hanging up right there. That's the old version. We have a new version, and this is it. American made, and made into design, you know, with a little bit of input from me, but from the genius guy Cypher from Survive Knives. These are made in Idaho. Belt clip, that'll fit in a molly. CPM 3V. Bow drill divot there. This is our take on the perfect survival knife. 5-inch fixed blade survival knife. So those will be coming out, American made, and it's a work of art. Yeah, bow drill divot if you know how to make a bow drill fire. You know, something good to have as a backup. I'm going to show you too. I wasn't going to show this yet because these will come out. They may come out next week. They may come out following. These are limited though. PVD. I mean, a black version, tungsten Cerakote, black handle, blackout version. And we do have some with the. You see, got the bow drill over there. Mean swedge, tungsten Cerakote, tungsten coated hardware as well, and Kydex sheath. So anyway, these will be coming out, guys. So they're limited. So make sure you jump on them when they come. People have been asking for them for 2 years. We've taken 2 years to make them. You know, we put a lot of Guy has put a lot of new processing in there, so these knives make our old ones look bad. I mean, it's sad because the old ones look great. These are that good. Anyhow, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me, man. Or men and women, guys, girls, if we can still say that anymore. I don't know. Do me a favor, leave it in the comments. So once the video posts, go tell me what your thought is on the Salvador Ramos, Kyle Rittenhouse. If you agree with my assessment, are they hiding something they're not telling us? Why is the gun the problem? And why is it the person is the problem with Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Anyhow, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me tonight, man. Hope you have a great weekend. If you're at work, go ahead and push through. It's almost a weekend, unless you're working the weekend. And I do appreciate you hanging out with me. And as always, guys, remember to stay frosty, stay strong, stay dangerous. Take care.